hello my lovely crafters, and I wanna say thank you so much for your response on my first video tutorial about beaded craft stitch, cross stitch, and many of you wants me to continue to show you more about, and that's what we're gonna do. So today, before we're gonna drill more, and I have in here my picture, I'm gonna show you how much I did. Here you go. Looks gorgeous. My flowers coming to life. So I have a little bit in here left, and then we're gonna continue here together. And I already have some questions, so we will cover that, and I will give you another tips. Obviously everything for beginners. As you can see, I keep here my piece of felt that I got from dollar store, and this time I line up my beads like just some color is missing right now because I was beading right on the edge in here, all colors, and that way it's easy to pick it up. And the way I pick it up, let me zoom a little bit. Let's see. So how I do, I'm just like put my needle in and just grab with my nail, and that's how I pick it up. Very easy. So that's it. That's how you practice. One bead run out to the other color, get back. Yes, just push in, and it's good because it's felt, and you just grab it like this, and I hold till I stitch. That's how I work. Plus, if you having a break, it's good to put your needle in it, and it's not gonna slip away from your table. So, but what I want to talk today about before we start this, I want to talk about the alternatives for the thread if you don't have beaded thread, like for example, and look at my containers, my famous containers from the prescription. If you don't have this particular beaded thread, I have something similar that you can buy in Walmart. So in here I'm gonna show you this one that I was talking about in my first video, upholstery. This one, it's a nylon, 100% nylon, and this one is a white color, very strong thread. You can't ever break this one, so you don't need even double up. You can just work in one string, because this one is, if I can compare to my thread that I'm working with right now, you can see the difference, right? So this one is thicker and will be okay just in one layer. And I have in here many of different colors because I bought them from my beads to make a jewelry, and that's why I have like a different color. So if I work with darker beads, I'm using this brown one. I didn't find one in black. I think I have a navy blue in here, white, and kind of cream color. So this is really good one stuff if you're looking to buy it. Now the other one I have in here, I have a different kind like a fishing line, fire line. So as you can see, this one is wildfire bead alone. This one is for the beading, and it's like white, a little bit translucent. Let me just put on the side a little bit here. As you can see, it's thin but very sturdy. So for the working with beads, it's probably going to be a little bit more like a stiff, but for this one, that here is the 50 yard, and I have in here, I'm gonna show you 125 yards, which is this one, 20 millimeter, how many is it, 45.8 meters, and this one is 114 meters. And this is the fire line that you can buy an aisle in a Walmart where are fishing lines. And guys, this is the best stuff. So this one costs much more than you would buy this one. It is kind of for this kind of amount, it's not cheap, but I mean, come on, look at it. The amount you get in here, this is so worth to get it. And here it is. It's exactly kind of like a same. It's sturdy and stiff, exactly like this one that you would buy in a bead store. Same thing. This one may be a little bit thinner and more white, as this one a little bit more like a transparent. You can see that. Now the other you can use, if you don't like white thread showing up, and usually it's showing up only on the edges, later on you cannot see them, so it should be worry you. But you can use the fire line, just the same thing. This Bakeley, it's a good company, I like that. And this one is thin, you can see this one is 6 pound, thin, flexible and sturdy. So with this kind of beads that we have in here, it's okay to use, and you will have a transparent stitches that you kind of like invisible stitching. But if you work with this kind of beads, because sometimes depends on the company, they can add this kind of mixture of beads to your cross stitch with beads. Oopsie, hold on, it's very full. This is glass beads, and they are very sharp edges. So this kind of beads can cut through the fire line, through the fishing line. So you have to be careful, just, you know, depends on what you're gonna use. So if you have this kind of beads, it's used to have like a nylon thread, but fishing line can go with the seed beads. Regular plastic seed beads will work just fine. Now talking about the other stuff of the fishing lines, here is another one that I have. Is that the one that I was just showing you? No, fishing line. Okay, no, we already saw this one. That's a same quality and as this one. Now also I have in here this kind with the fishy on it, and this one is green color, and it's almost like okay, here I'm gonna show you close up. 10-pound weight, 137 meters, super line, made in US. And here it is. This one, it's not open yet. Oh no, it is open because I already used on my jewelry. Let me just try to get here. So for example, if you have cross stitch with different, like a darker color, maybe you have a picture like of the forest or something like this, so it's good to use green. It would be more invisible, and it's really strong. So I do like this one, and it's cheap for what you get and how many meters you get. So this is something, if you don't have a proper beading line, there's always alternative, and this kind is the best. Okay, so we cover this up. Now we're gonna get a little bit to other tips. Let's continue with our tutorial and tips on how to bead cross stitch. And guys, to be honest, I am recording right now next day, so if I repeat myself, please forgive me. But I hope I will keep up and tell you something that I did not say yet in my first part of the video. First I want to show you guys how much I did so far. It looks gorgeous. You see how flowers start to come to life. beautiful. But I still wish it would be not partial but full, as you know, same as diamond painting. I like full drill diamond painting. I would love this to be a full canvas in beads. So I want to show you here, like my next part, of course, in here we're gonna do this line. So I already have here black colors and yellow colors, then I do not have here. Also this darker green not in here. So first tip for you, well, not first tip, but the next tip is not to put in here all the colors that you need for this not diamond, sorry, for your bead cross stitch, but only colors that you need. So let's say count like maybe like 5 rows at the time and just look what kind of colors you have here. So I do not have here any black color anymore, I do not have yellow, and I do not have this darker green. So I did not put them on my felt, so I don't need like an extra space just to waste it in here, and I'm not gonna mistake by grabbing the bead accidentally. So this is tip for you, that you know, only put in here beads that you know you will need in your next few lines. Okay, so now guys, when I was looking on this fabric, and this is like a double-sided fabric, I don't know the name in English, but I believe that's the fabric that it has like a sticky layer on one side, and when you iron it will be sticking to another piece of fabric, and that's what usually people use in the one who making like clothes on a machine, and I think that's what it is. So let's say I and this double-sided fabric will help us a little bit later on with the tutorial on how to finish or begin our next stitches. So I have already questions about what to do when your thread already finished. So I have pretty much long tail yet, but we will finish now, and I'm gonna show you how to finish as a first example, and then same as I showed you how to start first bead. So I will show you now how to finish this thread, and then I will start different way than we did at the beginning of my first video. And then when I run out of my new thread, I will show you how to finish in a new way as well. So you will have, after today's video, you will have 2 ways how to start your first bead, and 2 ways how to finish your bead, how you finish your thread after you finish, like when it's run out and you need to change it. So let's say in here, I'm gonna zoom a little bit close, and I'm gonna show you later on the back of my canvas what is going on, and then you will see later on what make different, depends how you finish or start your stitches. So I have here 1 light bead left, and I'm gonna pick on my needle. Let me just catch it from far away, and we're gonna try to finish this line. So I'm gonna go down, try to get on that hole up there, and I think I need to move my light a little bit close because now it's evening, so we need to have a more light. Okay, I think it's better now. Okay, so what we do, the first simple finish, you put your bead, you go in a line, which all beads we have line up in the same direction. So same thing, if we push up corner, we go to the right corner to the bottom on the right. Start from the left, go to the right. So now we go down under the canvas. We're gonna flip our canvas by holding it here so we don't lose our needle. Pull the, make sure there's no tangle in here, okay? And then here is how I finish first way. I go to my, here is my stitches. I'm just go behind this stitch, pull it, and go through this loop and pull. That's it. If you're not certain it's gonna be tight good enough because needle are not a needle but thread silky, do it one more time and you're done in here. But you do have this knot, as you see, and then we just cut this thread in here by leaving a little bit tail. So this way it's a little bit look messy, and I'm gonna show you at the same time. You can see these lines go up, these lines go horizontal. Why this happen? And I'm gonna flip it, and here is the corner, because I was doing these lines since I started from the middle, right? So I was going like up, up, up. So then I start to do the bottom part. So I did not go all the way. I decided to go down and go this way. So it's not only horizontal way you can go, also go up and down. Just remember to make sure your thread will go in the direction of the bead. So no matter how you do it, from left to right, from right to left, you always have to pay attention and position of your beads. So this is how I finish, and you can see that it is look not very attractive, right? Because in this example we have a knot when we finish and we have a knot when we start our beading. So after this one I'm gonna thread right now new one, threading my needle, and then I show you different way how you can start, and we're gonna continue our tutorial, guys. Now we're gonna start our stitch number 2. How to start after your thread run out. So in here we have, this is the bead that we finish. This is the last bead before we cut our thread. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna flip the other way, and this is where I believe that's where we finish. Yes, it is. Okay, so I'm just go turn this way. So we were going from here, as you can see we have a line of the stitch in here, and we go this way. So now I do not have knot on the end of my thread, but I still double it. Now I'm gonna go from here this way, from right to meet up with my knot, but I will go between my fabric backing and also not to go through my canvas up front, because it's like a double fabric in here, and I'm gonna show you a little bit close. As you can see what I'm doing in here, I'm go through my fabric. You can even start a little bit more further, not big deal. We just have to go through like so, for example. And let me show you what's going on in here. Obviously in here I got a little bit, I can see a little bit needle came out, so I just need to be more careful. It's just not comfortable right now because I'm on camera, so let me just pay attention what I'm doing here. Okay, let's see what I have in here now. Okay, Now my needle is not visible in here, but it's under this first layer of fabric. So I pull out my thread, and my ends probably gonna be not as straight right now. I just have to make sure they are even. That's actually not bad. I pull just like so. It will just to hide, almost hide, a little bit sticking out. I can pull even a little bit more further. You can see that it's just a little tiny tail sticking out. Now I'm gonna go through this fabric on the front of my canvas. So now I'm just gonna like hold this tail, stretch my needle, make sure it's all not tangled, and I will go from here and find my first bead, the bead that we finished last. So we're gonna go from the same where we started this bead. I'm gonna show you close and say get it. We're gonna go twice through the same bead. So you can see I finished this bead. I hope you can see, guys. Camera playing with this light, not so great today. Here's my bead. I went up my bead. I'm gonna pull out my thread by looking on the back, make sure it's not tangled up and not pull out of my fabric. Okay, now it's hiding up there. And don't worry, we're gonna stitch our beads, so this thread will be like a stitch with our beads as lines like that, so we're gonna kind of secure. But now we're gonna go through our last bead, from the top point like so. See, I went through my last bead. It's kind of hard to see on this color. I pull out, my thread catched my tripod again. I pull out through my last bead, and I'm gonna go again to the same point where I stitched this bead through the same hole, and I go horizontal to my, let me just catch it first, guys, and then I show you. Okay, so I went I went through the top of the bead, go through the bead to the lowest point to the right, and then stitch to the left side horizontally. And now I'm gonna pull out my needle, and make sure we're gonna straighten up all this. Usually that's what happens when you're trying to be careful on the video. Let me untangle and I will be right back. Okay, guys, that wasn't actually a tangle, it just I needed to pull each thread separately just to get through my bead. So now we only not only we have a new way how we connected our new thread to the fabric, but also we double secure our last bead so it stays sturdy and not wobbling around. And now you just continue your stitching as we did before, not to mess up, and make sure you keep following direction of the beads. If your bead this way an angle, it's mean your thread have to go on an angle, so you know the needle have to be go from this way to here. Okay, so we're just gonna go and continue. Okay, and I just kind of like I always fixing a little bit with my nail just to straighten up this bead. And to be honest, guys, I do not like to do this kind of tutorials with beads at night time. It really kind of playing with my camera zoom and focus. So I guess I'm gonna continue right now, do this all by myself. You already saw how this work, and when I get to the end of this thread, I will show you a second way how you can finish to secure your thread before you cut it out. So that's going to be like second way how to finish, and I will be right back with my next tips. Alright, it's the next day now, guys, and look how much better actually it's work in a daylight. So I think my tutorials from now on, I'm not gonna try to do at night time where there is no sunlight, because the camera focus acting up really weird. So I'm run out of the thread, just a little bit tail left in here. So I'm gonna show you this second version how to finish your bead stitch. So I put my last bead and I came out from this hole. I would go just across one to put my needle right in here, go on the other side, and don't worry, you're not gonna see this thread in here, because later on your bead will lay right on the top of it. And then I would flip, and because we are going with our, like, we bead from here to here, so when we flip we will go an opposite direction. So if I flip my canvas, I will finish exactly the same way. I will stitch under between my first part of fabric and actually this, because this is like a double, and that's what's good when you buy it from European stores. They always put this layer of fabric to make sure your fabric in here stays nice and sturdy. So we're gonna finish the same way, and I'm just gonna be very carefully, oopsie, okay, here, go in between. You see that? Now let's check, like, we're not gonna see nothing in here because our needle go under these beads, okay? And when you pull, you have nicely lined up, kind of hiding up there. And then just for the better security, you can go in the opposite way, now this way, and do not worry, because when you start to bead later on, those beads thread will grab your thread and kind of stitch together for the extra security. So that's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna go between those two fabrics, and even if I go a little bit on the top of my printed area, that wouldn't be a big deal, because it will cover with the beads anyway, so you're not gonna see it. So I'm just go this way, and that's it. Now I'm just ready to cut this piece with my sharp scissors. You can even leave a little bit tail if you want to, and that's it. That's what you have you finish. When I turn this way, you see that my second stitch went in here, but you cannot see it because this is double fabric. So guys, and my advice to you, when you buying from China, say you buying this kind of art from AliExpress, there is more often you will receive beads that is not same size, and Usually China don't sell with this kind of craft beaded cross stitch, nice and good quality beads. They usually different sizes. You're lucky if you get the good one store, but those beads obviously will be more expensive. So Preciosa, I think that's what would be name of the Czech beads. They made in Czech Republic, and they are really, really good, high quality. And I did order once from them, but I think it was before I have my channel, so I didn't do video unboxing, but I did posted pictures of the seed beads that I bought. I think 4 colors I bought that time in different sizes, and they are really, really good quality. So you can buy, for example, there's some canvas could be like just a clear canvas, and the print would be like on a piece of paper, and you would have to count and do on a white canvas. You can do that as well, but like for beginners I would suggest to buy your first canvas printed. That is so much easier. You don't have to count nothing, and you just go up and down, or from left to the side. And as you can see, it looks already so beautiful, and it's such a nice touch. It's like it's so soothing and relaxing. I love the touch. And now, from like, not everybody would show you this part of the canvas because it's called kind of like a messy side, but as you can see, I did not too bad. I didn't have too much of the pulling of the fabric, and because I wanted to show you many ways how you can stitch, so we obviously have some knots in here. I will cut them later short and put a little tiny dab of strong glue just to make sure it's sealed and not to untangle, because this thread is silky like nylon thing. And then later on we will do this technique number 2. You will see how beautiful this canvas will look on this side when you don't have a knots, and especially if you doing maybe for a gift and you not framing. Obviously if you put in a frame, nobody gonna see this side, even you, but if you given as a gift, not framed, and your person who you give it to will choose their own frame, it's nice to have you know, nice surface, if that would be like all nicely, right, finished, and not like in here. But that's the way it changes when you changes from up and down or from left to right, depends how you stitch. It changes on the back around. So guys, this was 2 ways how you can begin and finish your thread. So if you didn't see first video, please check it out. And then I have for you third version of how you can start your cross stitch, and maybe you will like that one is the best. So in my video number 3, I will show you third way how you can stitch your first bead, how to start, and I think you will like that. Also, I'm working on tutorial, guys, have a better way to set up your beads, how to organize them. So I think you will like the tutorial, so I'm kind of start on it, and that should be up soon on my channel. But also we have today garage sales here, right next door. My neighbor have a garage sale, and some other people went on the street, so I got this. It was 5 for $2, and I don't know, this is I don't know if this is coaster for the glass or like a ashtray. I think it's like a coasters for the glass, because it has a little bit glass in here, you can see sticking out on 4-way. But I'm totally crazy about glass. I have so much glass, guys, but I cannot stop buying it. So I thought, instead of, for example, do your beads on a felt, you can, if you don't have too many colors, also you don't need too many colors at once, right? let me just get a little bit up in here. You can just set up this kind of trays, and for example, it's 5 in here, so you can put 5 colors. And because they're not deep, it's pretty comfortable, and I try to pick beads from here. You stick it and kind of like you pull it with your nail, and it's comfortable as well. Just for in case, you know, sometimes beads rolling down. If I move my thread, sometimes catch them from the felt, and some beads move and just jumping on the floor. So this way kind of more safe. But also I'm making tutorial, awesome tutorial, how you organize your beads, and it's easy to clean up after you finish. So watch out for that. So guys, I hope you like this tutorial, and so far we have 2 ways how to start and how to finish our beads. Thread have to start and finish, and I think this video were loaded with the tips the way I like to do my way. If you have your way, that would be awesome, you know, to hear from you. You can please comment. And just the most important thing, always remember to put beads in the same direction, that way they look beautiful. You see that? And I think it looks gorgeous, and I really want to have a full drill, as I would say, full square, to have everything fill up with the beads. So guys, I did I emailed to one of Ukrainian company, and they have this kind of, I like this, like a fabric, not those plasticky that you can buy. Well, there's different. Some beads canvas on silk, some on this kind of soft material. There's a different ways. So I found one company in Ukraine, but they did not have anything saying that would ship overseas. So I emailed them, and I don't know if I will have respond or not, because I wanted to know if they ship to Canada and how much would be cost for shipping. But they have a different kind. They have kind that just a printed area, but you have to find your own beads. Also, they have kits that already have a beads with it, and if you are a beginner, I would suggest you to buy a kit where they have beads already, because sometimes it's really hard if you try to find your own colors and then you end up not having enough, the color would change. So let the professional do the job, and I would just buy the kit that they have all beads already put in the kit. So you buy and you can start work right away. So when I hear from them any news, I will guys let you know. But I did email them in English because my computer, I couldn't type them in Ukrainian language, so I don't know if they didn't understand or not, but I mean the Google translator can help. So plus it's weekend, so if I hear any news from them, I will share with you, because they do sell Preciosa check beads that would perfectly fit nicely, all the same size, because up there it's really popular craft and they make sure it's all, you know, in high quality. So let's just see what's gonna happen, if they're gonna reply or not. But for now you can order from AliExpress. I will put some link that I found, but I did not try their canvases yet. So it's just because not everybody can find beaded cross stitch on AliExpress. So I will find few stores for you so you can check it out, and then you can just have to look if the beads will be same size or not. You usually, when you stretch the picture, you can see what kind of beads they sell with the canvas, or you can just email to the seller and ask them what kind of quality beads would be in the kit. And also make sure to remember to look if beads included in the kit, because sometimes you can buy canvas and the beads wouldn't be not included, so watch out for that as well. Okay guys, I think I talked too much. I hope you like this video and give me your thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. Don't forget that I do have a giveaway that we're reaching out to 6,000 subscribers, and we're going there pretty fast, so make sure you subscribe for the chance to win. There's a 3 gift card on this channel, and 1 gift card will be on my beauty channel. Also with my gift card it will be diamond painting. And if you did not see and don't know nothing about diamond painting, please check it out my videos. I have tons of them. Alright, so have a great day everybody, and I see you in my next episode.